Live breaking news, Elon Musk goes off on the big, beautiful bill, President Trump's legislation that he's been really adamant about passing. Watch what he just posted on X. Check this out. He says, quote, "I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination." Wow, I've never seen him this upset. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt was asked about this by Peter Doocy. She kind of shrugged it off. But this is like when he says, "I can't stand it any longer," he's been holding, that implies to me that he's been holding this in. This is something that he's felt for a very long time. He was on that interview with CBS Sunday Morning where he says, "I don't think a bill can be big and beautiful at the same time," sort of laughing it off. And then that press conference, it seemed like him and Trump were on the up and up. He was saying Doge is going forward 100%. This doesn't mean I'm done, even though I'm leaving, yada. I'm still going to be an advisor. And him and Trump seem to be, in great spirits. But this really changes everything. And I've never seen him this venomous before. Tom Massey and Rand Paul supported Elon Musk's post. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But I'm going to break down who's right. Is Elon right? Trump right? What does the bill entail? What's he mean by pork-filled congressional spending? The abomination. What is Trump's response to this, and what can he do in the bill to offset this? Will the tariffs offset this that he's so proud of, that I'm actually proud of too, that I think the External Revenue Service, et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to break everything down for you right now. So grab your favorite snack, your favorite beverage, sit back, relax. Your boy Nez has you covered. Check this out. So Trump posted a couple of things before I get cooking in my outline. He says Rand votes no on everything, but never has any practical or constructive ideas. His ideas are actually crazy, losers. The people of Kentucky can't stand him. This is a big growth bill. I shared this on X. He says because of tariffs, our economy is booming. Okay, as I always do, I break this down using my due diligence, qualitative and quantitative research. If you want to know where you can get a copy of my notes here, I'll let you know at the end. Stick around. So why does this matter? What's happening here with the $1.6 trillion spending bill, waste tariffs, and Trump's plan? So again, Elon calling out the $1.6 trillion congressional spending bill. This bill decides how your tax dollars are spent, things like defense, healthcare, and local projects. What we're going to explore, what's in the bill? Why is it controversial? Can Trump's tariffs cover the cost? What else can Trump do to balance the budget? What does this mean for you? So what's in this bill? So there's a total discretionary spending. $1.6 trillion is set by the Fiscal Responsibility Act of 2023. Defense is going to have 56%, $895 billion. This covers military, national security, the border patrol, securing the border is really big. Non-defense, I think this is where Elon Musk has the biggest problems. 44% of the bill covers this. $704.5 billion funds healthcare, infrastructure, education, and more. It also keeps the government running through September 30th, 2025, avoiding a shutdown that would stop services like Social Security payments or national parks. The key allocations: defense budget increased by $7 billion, healthcare programs, including NIH biomedical research, up by 3.8, claims $54 billion in long-term savings, but cuts $46 billion from the IRS, which the CBO estimates will add $7 billion to the deficit by reducing tax enforcement. So let's talk about why is this controversial. So Elon Musk says it's a massive, outrageous, pork-filled abomination. So what does he mean by the pork barrel spending? This refers to earmarks. It's funds for local projects often seen as wasteful or favoring specific districts. I think this is where Elon Musk has a big problem, essentially eliminating or omitting all the hard work that Doge has done thus far to save taxpayers. He's saying this is going to really be something that ruins their work and ruins and that's why he's so upset about this. So example, $5 million for a small town museum might benefit one area at congressman's discretion, but not the nation. Here's earmarks history. They were banned in 2011 due to waste concerns after scandals like the bridge to nowhere, if you guys remember that. 2021 reinstated with transparency rules, now called, quote, congressionally direct spending by the Senate Appropriations Committee. 2025 earmarks in this bill totaling $22.5 billion are criticized as wasteful. So the debate is Earmarks waste 20 to 30 billion annually in fuel inflation, which has been at generational highs since the pandemic. Supporters say this bill funds essentials like defense, health, prevents shutdowns. I mean, Speaker Johnson obviously is a huge supporter of all this, and earmarks support local needs, i.e., rural hospitals, etc. Deficit concerns. Discretionary spending rose 6% in the fiscal year 2024, raising questions about fiscal responsibility amid inflation rates of 3.5% in 2025, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Can Trump's tariffs pay for this spending? So Trump's tariff plan proposed at 10 to 60% tariffs on all U.S. imports to raise revenue. The revenue projections, the current 2025 tariffs, remember, a lot of this was used for leverage for negotiations to incentivize domestic manufacturing and essentially garner fair trade deals with huge economies like China, India, etc. The current 2025 tariffs will raise $156.4 billion or 0.51% of GDP. A 20% universal tariff could raise $340 billion annually. You compare that to the spending. So $156 billion covers 10% of the $1.6 trillion. $340 billion covers 21%. It's still not enough. Now, the economic downsides, tariffs increase consumer costs and risk foreign retaliation. But again, I say this knowing full well that essentially these are all negotiation tactics, and I trust my president. There's some uncertainty there with legal challenges like blocking International Economic Emergency Powers Act, the IEEPA. Tariffs could cut revenue by $1.4 trillion over 10 years. Conclusion, tariffs alone can't offset the $1.6 trillion. Other solutions are needed. Now, what can Trump do to offset the spending? So this bill adds to the deficit $7 billion from IRS cuts alone, and tariffs cover only a fraction. Option one is to cut spending, eliminate those earmarks, cutting $22.5 billion in fiscal year 2025. Earmarks saves $20 to $30 billion, reduce non-defense spending, a 10% cut to the 704 buildings, saves $70 billion. Target programs like the EPA, etc. Cut foreign aid projected at $58.4 billion. A 50% cut saves $29 billion. Reform mandatory programs, adjust Medicare, Social Security, eligibility age, saving, which he's planning on doing, by the way. Option two is to raise other revenue, energy sector and expand oil gas leases to add $16 billion. Corporate tax increase raised from 21 to 25. We don't really want that. Close tax loopholes. We don't want that either. Option three, improve efficiency, government efficiency, streamline agencies to save 30 to 50 billion. Privatization, sell off Amtrak to save 2 to 3 billion. Option four is to use presidential power, veto threat. He can veto the bill if there aren't the kind of cuts. He can push for a line item veto, target pork, but requires legal changes. Combined impact tariffs, earmark cuts, non-defense, foreign aid, energy, and efficiency could offset $335 billion or 21% of the $1.6 trillion. Now, the bigger picture here, we have inflation risk, shutdown threat, earmark transparency, debt burden, political dynamics. And here's the real unanswered questions here. Will Congress share more details on earmarks to spot waste? Because it's kind of nebulous, this whole idea that they can fund personal projects that have no national benefit. How will Musk's comments shape Trump's actions? Will this bill bring more local projects or just higher prices due to inflation? Can Trump reduce the deficit without major political fights? I'd love to hear what you guys think. The fiscal 2025 bill funds critical services, but includes $22.5 billion in controversial pork. Tariffs can't cover that, but Trump could offset cuts and new revenue. This affects all of us, your taxes, your community, and the economy. Should Congress cut the waste, or are local projects worth it? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Is Elon Musk right about the congressional pork? Yes. Trump can send this. This can get sent to the Senate. It already passed the House. The Senate can actually cut out that pork, send it to President Trump's desk, and he still keeps the promise that he made to America. He still secures the border. He still, really strengthens and fortifies our defense budget, which is much, much needed, especially in an increasingly precarious geopolitical standing and all sorts of tensions all over the world, as well as everything else that we want and all the major tax cuts, et cetera, et cetera. That is very, very possible. That's what I love about Trump. Trump is extremely flexible, extremely malleable, and he has said that time and time again. That's why he said he's willing to work with Iran, even after all the egregious things Iran has done. He's still willing to work with Zelensky, that petulant man-child who came into the Oval Office and desecrated any credibility he has with massive disrespect to our president, our vice president, and us as taxpayers. He's got a golden heart. And this is another thing. I said this in a stream before. I love this kind of disagreement because it just shows we're not the Democrats. We're not minions. We're not automatons that take our orders from the Obama Holly weirdo cabal and just follow suit without question. We engage in critical thinking. Disagreements amongst visionaries, I would be offended if there weren't disagreements. I would be skeptical if there wasn't any kind of division in thought, ideology, vision, etc. Of course, when you have luminaries like Trump, visionaries like Musk, etc., there have to be disagreements. That comes with the territory. It shows we got the right people in the right place. This is what intelligence looks like. This is what critical thinking looks like. Do I think that Musk should have posted that on X in such a kind of heated, upset, furious way? Maybe, maybe not. Probably not the best way. But you know what? Another thing that we love about Trump, I think Trump would have done the exact same thing if the positions were reversed. Radical authenticity, realism. These are not politicians who use the boring, dead language of politicians and swamp vermin that have absolutely decimated their credibility for decades. These are real people who get things done in the real world, and they use our kind of language. There's a part of me that loves it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm always curious to hear your thoughts. Let me know down below. If you love America, tap that thumbs up. You can even do it with your remote on TV. We also have our free newsletter. Sign up for our free newsletter. It's in the pinned comment and description, as well as our unbelievable new shop with new designs and new merch. And I said this, if you want a copy of these notes, I'm going to leave a link to this Google Doc in the description of this video. You can check it out for yourself. Look at it, read it, study over at your own leisure. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right here, just in case you missed them. Tap my face right here to subscribe and follow. And as always, may God bless you, and may God bless the USA and all who defend her. I'll see you soon.